Hello, folks. Now, food is a pretty fantastic entity, and I think most people would agree at some level to being a foodie. But there is such a thing as a diet that a lot of people try and experiment with. And for reasons that could be medical or non medical, a lot of people won't try them. I usually get a lot of questions around diets from people who've tried to speak to me about insulin resistance or prediabetes, or even those who are diabetic. And well, I think I'd just like to begin by saying that there's no one diet fits all, no such rule. And the only way to approach a diet is to go in as an objective investigator. Some of the points I'd probably want to highlight today, this can be very short, is always begin any diet with a blood test. Always begin with a blood glucose, a blood cholesterol test, so profile for your complete cholesterols, and if you can, if you have the means for it, then a fasting glucose, rather, a 2 hour post meal glucose test, so a glucose sensitivity or tolerance test. The reason for this is that most diets or even dramatic kinds of exercise plans will affect you metabolically, and you want to make sure that none of it is negative. You also want to make sure that your macronutrients and your micronutrients are taking care of you, that they're covering everything you need and you're not completely restricted. Second thing I would say is most people start experiencing weight loss in the lines of 1 to 2 pounds within the first week of any diet, especially if they have a nutritionist or a dietitian attached with them. I would just recommend to be wary because, of course, it's very motivating to see changes, but at the same time, don't ignore a change in energy, a change in behavior, sleep patterns, especially if it's in the negative line. And just out of motivation, don't feel the need to suppress anything that feels unpleasant, because not all diets are meant to make you feel out of energy and grumpy and crabby. So feel free to go back to your nutritionist or even a medical doctor to figure out what happened. At the end of your diet, do those blood tests again, just to make sure that you're not messing up your health. Finally, choose a diet that is not too drastic, because the biggest pitfall most people have in terms of diets is that they do something so drastic to come up with some drastic results that they can't hold on afterwards. At the end of their guided diet or whatever plan, whatever amount of time they wanted to commit to a diet, they usually end up going back to their old ways, and before you know it, things have completely gone out of hand. So usually commit to a diet that doesn't seem too drastic. Anything that you feel is sustainable is a pretty good golden rule to stick by. Something that you think you can do all your life, still benefiting from it without destroying your health, is probably the best way forwards. I have previously written a little bit about a paleo diet in one of my previous blog posts, so that'll be attached on here too. But diets are meant to be tried and tested, and I think it's a good idea to definitely have a go at some of these diets if you like. But like I said, don't do them without the right tools. Don't do them subjectively. Be sure to step back and do them objectively, because there's so many emotions attached to weight loss and weight gain and the aesthetics around it, especially for most people. So try and focus on the metrics more. Try and focus on the hard facts and the numbers a lot more than the way you feel in the moment, because it's easy to get swayed when you're dealing with something of that nature. It's just you're so emotionally invested that you don't want to get caught up. But the blood test, I cannot emphasize enough. Do the blood test before and after. If there's anything you do, do the blood test. And have a go. And good luck. Stay fit and stay healthy.